Hello and welcome to Claret Brew. This is our weekly show where myself, John Townley and Matt Kendrick get together to chat Villa for 30 minutes. Me and Matt have both come to this series with an idea each as the weeks have gone on. So John, this week is your turn. I know it's about loans, but do you want to discuss a little bit further about what we're going to talk about today?
Yeah, I thought we might build I don't know, like maybe a best all-time Villa loan team, or a worst, in fact, because I was looking through them and actually it's quite a difference between the two sets of loans. There's only a few players which you'd probably throw in the middle of, don't really remember too much of them, most of which have either been really bad or actually quite useful.
Obviously a peek behind the curtain. Me and Matt knew this was coming. You haven't completely thrown us. We've done some prep. Matt, I thought for me and John, this might be quite current, like quite, of the last few years, because obviously we're younger than you are. So you can offer the perspective of the late 90s and maybe the late 80s even just about. But I went back on transfer market at Villa through the years and their incoming loanees. We only had about 3 players on loan for the entirety of the 90s. So this is going to be quite current, isn't it? The last decade maybe, right?
It just didn't seem to be that much of a thing, certainly where Aston Villa were concerned. But I don't know, can we blame pesky PSR and financial restrictions and regulations again, that we can only commit to something on a short-term basis rather than long-term? I don't know. But yeah, I think a lot of my suggestions and responses will probably be similar to yours in, they'll at least have happened at a time when you've both had the ability to walk in the last 15 years.
Yeah. So I've got a list in front of me. I've basically compiled every loan since about 2005-ish. So obviously we're not going to go through them in order or anything like that. We're just going to pluck names out of the hat, and a bit like that meme of blokes can have a great time just naming footballers and going, oh, remember Tom Cleverley? Oh, yeah, interesting. And that's the episode, really. And we'll try and put that into an 11. I did wonder whether we could actually do an 11, John, but I think we have got a player across every position, haven't we? I think.
Yeah, I've definitely got an 11.
Have you actually made an 11?
Yeah, I've got one 11 and then a second 11, which isn't an 11. It's more like 10. 9.
We're going for a best and a worst. We're trying to build both.
Well, I think we do try and build a best, and then we'll do the worst at the end as like an honourable mention. We don't spend too much time on the crap ones, do we?
No, well, maybe.
Okay, all right. Go on then, John. As soon as this was your idea, do you want to ping out one of your names and see if we want to have a chat about them?
What? Literally just
just a loanee, yeah. Pick a player that you're going to nominate for our best 11.
All right, this might throw you a little bit. In my best 11, this is going to set a really bad tone, I think. But all right, Lewis Grabban. What are your thoughts on Lewis Grabban? Because what I remember of Lewis Grabban in that second half of the season where we nearly went up under Bruce, I think he got 8 or 9 goals. And if I remember rightly, it was actually quite good. But I don't really think anyone really thinks about him, because obviously we had, I won't name him because we'll probably talk about him soon anyway, but we had another loanee this season after who scored lots of goals. And I don't know, I thought Grabban was actually very useful for us. And if we had gone up that season, if Fredericks had got a red card in that player final and we went up, and then financially we would have kind of bottomed out. But Grabban, I actually think, was a very astute loan signing. So I've just about nudged him into my best Villa 11, which people will be absolutely shocked by. But I thought we'd start with a bit of a curveball.
No, I appreciate the rogue show. I mean, for me, I think useful is the right word. He definitely had a spell of scoring quite a handful of goals. Yeah. But I always, and again, this is probably recency bias off his period, not that the fact that it was 8 years ago or something. No, surely not that long. No, not that far away. 2018. Oh, not miles off, to be fair. But like the playoff final, stinker. Played really bad in that game from what I remember. So that chance to go up and you've ruined it. So a shout as an okay player, I think, but I don't know if he'd be in my best team. Would he be yours, Matt?
I just think of Lewis Grabban, and I think what was the Keith Winer's announcement when we signed him? What did he do?
Was that the one with the laptop with his thumbs up?
Yeah.
That became a bit of a meme, didn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that doesn't say great things about the Lewis Grabban footballer, does it? If that's what we remember of it.
I'm not too much like Keith Winer's for my own good. That's the problem.
Go on then, Matt. Give us a different name. We'll decide on a team at the end, shall we say? Because I'm not sure Grabban gets in it, to be honest.
All right then. Well, I'll try and take. Well, not me personally, but I will try and dislodge Grabban. I'm going to go with Robbie Keane. And he only had a really short, sharp shock. But, I mean, how old are we talking? The McLeish season?
That was
2011-12.
2011-12, yeah.
So, John, you'd probably still be in reception class, wouldn't you then? How old would you be in 2011-12?
I'd have been in year 2, I think.
No.
Sorry, not year 2. What about
year 8 at
year
secondary
6.
school?
No, year 6, I think.
You'd have started high school in 2011.
Anyway, you may remember some of it, but it was quite. I always say we stayed up in instalments that year, and it was quite a bleak slog towards the kind of 38-point mark or whatever we finished the season on to stay up. But Robbie Keane injected just a little bit of excitement and a little bit of drama. We signed him from the MLS, didn't we? For a couple of months. I think he probably only scored 3 goals. So he's already losing out to Graben in terms of
as few as that. Wow.
The impact.
How many goals did he score against Wolves?
He scored 2 in that one game.
He scored 2 absolute bangers.
Yeah, I remember that.
And that was a rare victory.
Yeah, you're right. 3 goals in 6 appearances, says Wikipedia. Yeah. I'm amazed it's that few.
So it was a real kind of short, sharp shock. But because excitement, goals, victories, points were in such short supply, and because Villa fans of my age and older, we thought we were getting Robbie Keane when he was like the next best thing, when he burst onto the scene at Wolves. And I think he ended up going via Coventry, didn't he? I think Doug Ellis wouldn't quite cough up the cash. And I think there's a famous story that John Gregory rocked up at Molineux one day, turned up in one of the home ends and was wearing a baseball cap, trying to do it incognito to go and scout Robbie Keane. And it never happened. So I think we had to wait so much longer for him to arrive that I'm probably investing more. I've got more fond memories on this little short, sharp shock than I would have had ordinarily because we actually finally got to see him in Claret and Blue. So, that's my first shout anyway.
Yeah, Robbie Keane's a decent shout. I had a quick check then as you were chatting through. 3 goals, 6 appearances. One of them was an equaliser against Newcastle United, which we went on to lose 2-1 anyway.
Oh, right, okay.
No impact at all, really, points-wise, from his goal specifically, apart from the Wolves winner, which is...
What was I thinking? Wigan? Really. Was Wigan his last game? Did he get injured and then we didn't see him again or something?
I don't know. There's not that much information on Wikipedia, so I can't give you an answer on that. If we rattle off some of the stinkers quickly... of other forwards while we're in the forward areas. I've got Grant Holt on loan in the 2013-14 season, which is proper stinky. Not many forwards, though, like actual strikers. So we are running...
In my bad 11.
We are running out of options, which makes me feel like we're destined for a one up front situation in our 11. And if that is the case,
because John alluded to him earlier, didn't we? It's Tammy Abraham. If we're playing with just one, it's Tammy Abraham because he's the only player who's scored 20+ league goals since I was a toddler. So so it's sort to jump in there. But before we start building the rest of the team, let's give Tammy a bit of credit.
Yeah, I think Tammy is absolutely obviously in there as the striker. If we play up two up front, Tammy and Graben or Tammy and Keane, I don't know, we'll get back to that later, I guess. But Tammy obviously is in there, scored lots of goals in the season that were promoted. All right, let's move on to the opposite end of the pitch, goalkeepers. Again, not loads to choose from. For me, there's an outstanding candidate, I think. Go on, John, let's go for a goalkeeper from you first.
Yeah, Sam Johnson, I think, wins this by...
Yeah.
A fair distance, I suppose, unless I've missed someone.
Suggestion.
But he was
2 loans, didn't he?
Yeah, 2 loans, solid in both. Not much else to say about it, really. There's a lot to say about keepers who haven't done well on loan at Villa. But yeah, Johnson for me is probably the best.
You agree, Matt?
Didn't he beat Tony Jaa at table tennis as well? Didn't I? I remember seeing a little video of him beating Tony Jaa at table tennis at Bodymore, I think, as well. So
I've completely wiped that from my memory.
So that's an extra bonus. Yeah, it's either Sam Johnson or the tracksuit bottom wearing Gabor Kirali, isn't it? Kirali. So but in terms of quality and impact,
there is another one as well.
Who am I forgetting? Scott Carson one? Or?
Well, yeah, there is Scott Carson.
Yeah.
No, Andre Moreira.
Oh,
I've got a couple of goalkeepers. Yeah, I've got Andre Moreira, Pepe Reina, and Robin Olsen. On a loan as well before he joined permanently. So, I mean, Sam Johnston, not like this amazing goalkeeper, but much better than all of the others.
Absolutely, yeah.
Andre Moreira. I mean, we say it every time, but that video of him doing that warm up is everybody's memory of him, isn't it? Yeah. I think warm up is basically doing nothing. Yeah, madness.
Yeah, I did. I don't. Regular listeners will probably accuse me of recycling material again, but it did remind me that warm up of like when you. I think I said this in the voice notes. When you go in goal in 5 seconds, you really don't want to, so you just kind of let as many goals in as you can, so you can get back out and back amongst it quite quickly. It's just something we do really, really just didn't want to be there, wasn't it?
Terrible.
Matt, do you want to pluck a suggestion out of thin air here, whatever position you want?
I'll tell you, I'll go with Kyle Walker.
Ooh, good shout, yeah.
And again, probably because he offered a little bit of a glimmer of gold in a not quite as tough a season as the McLeish season, but the Houllier season wasn't vintage either. And I don't think we realised that Kyle Walker was something special, but I don't think we realised that he was going to go on and achieve what he did. I think I remember I've been at Bramall Lane. He, obviously a former Sheffield United lad. I think he scored on his debut, I think, in the FA Cup, if I'm right in thinking.
He scored one, didn't he, from outside the box, if I remember? Is that the same one?
Yeah, I think it's that goal.
Is that goal?
I think so. Probably should have stipulated some rules in this, but it's a bit too late now because I see loan players as players who come on loan and then you never see them again, like Rashford or whatever. I know it's not that, but we're going to include some people in this 11 who started as loan players and became permanent players. Because to me, that falling in love with a loan player is the equivalent of having a kind of a holiday fling in the sunshine when you had too many glasses of ouzo or whatever it is. Whereas, a permanent sided is a kind of serious relationship, isn't it? So I think when you conflate the two, I see loan players mainly as that kind of very temporary, enjoyed them or hated them while they were there and then never see them again kind of thing.
Yeah, I agree. But there is absolutely going to be at least one, maybe two players in this list that have joined permanently afterwards, yeah.
By the nature of the list, the best loan players, if we've kept them, it suggests that they're half decent, doesn't it?
That's
not always, but
no. There aren't any other right backs. I went back to 2004, and I don't think there's any other right backs that have joined us on loan as actual right backs as Kyle Walker was. So if we are playing a back four system here, he kind of has to go in. The only other kind of potential shouts is Disasi at right back last season. Tuanzebe had 3 loan spells with us. I don't know whether he actually ever played right back though. I feel like he might have done at one stage.
Definitely did, yeah.
Yeah. But again, I think Kyle Walker as a right back ousts both of those, doesn't he?
Yeah, for sure.
Centre back then, I'll go next. One that we've kind of just all alluded to, I'm sure. Tyrone Mings as a loanee to begin with, it becomes a permanent and he's still here, still a kind of crucial piece of the puzzle as it stands. A great loan in the moment as well. If it was to be that and nothing else, he was good for us in that spell, obviously, that saw us promoted, and one that instantly everybody fell in love with and wanted to keep. And 7 or 8 years, whatever it was, he's still here and still playing first team games at as high as the Champions League last year. So, definitely a successful loan and an easy pick for this kind of conversation.
Yeah, he was better than Thiago Ilori, so he's got that on.
Christ,
we don't have to say too much about Mings here. We all know what he's done.
I think when Mings signed, what I would say though, I think there was the thought that we'd sign him as a left back.
Yeah.
Initially, because I think he played a lot of his football as a left, which is ridiculous, really. Not ridiculous because he's capable of playing left back, but he's a big guy to play at left back. So, it was interesting then when we found out that Smith saw him for where he should be, basically. And I think it enabled him, being in the centre of defence, enabled him to become the leader that he's become as well, I think. I'm not saying that you can't be a captain and a leader from left back, but I think that moment when I wouldn't say converted him to a centre half, but we opted to use him as a centre half was one of the crucial decisions that made him become so influential, really.
Yeah.
I remember watching, I'm pretty certain it was his debut at Reading. I was in the home end because there was no away ticket that I could get. And I remember watching him straight away and I thought, this is a really good centre-back here in Tyrone Mings. Left-sided, good on the ball, quick, strong. You're kind of thinking already, this could be a real asset for us going forward. But with Grealish out at that time, it just felt like we were really going nowhere. And then I think in that game, Tommy Elphick hit the bar and it was 0-0 and you just thought promotion's kind of slipping away from us here, or top 6 anyway. But no, Mings played obviously a massive role in us getting over the line.
Yeah, agreed. Okay, centre-back's going to be a little bit iffy, and we're absolutely going to be playing a 4 at the back system because there aren't loads of centre-backs to make a 3 at the back system. Tuanzebe, we've just touched on.
Can I put more forward? The 2 actually. Firstly, Courtney Hulse, I actually think slightly underrated for what he gave us in that championship run going up, but haven't really included him. But actually Longley, I don't actually think was as bad as what some people made out him to be. He, again,
Can we play 2 left-footers though, John?
Well, I have Tuanzebe and Mings as my pairing. But if you have to take Mings out because it's a permanent addition, then I'd be happy to put Longley in there, because I genuinely think in that season, obviously we finished 4th. Longley did play quite a lot of games, came in for Pau Torres, of course, as well, and played in his absence, and the results didn't fall off a cliff. You know, we still finished 4th that season and got to a semi-final. So to be fair, you know, we've had much worse than Longley.
Yeah, so it's Mings is definitely in there. I think we all agree. So Matt, it's Tuanzebe, Disasi, Longley, or Hawes to partner him.
Just had a message from an old lady listener called Jan Bednarik.
I forgot about him. Yeah,
I mean, old Jan would have only played half a dozen times, if that, 3 times.
More games or less games than Robbie Keane? What do you think?
Less.
According to Wikipedia, 3 appearances. So the same amount of goals that Robbie Keane scored, as we established.
3 appearances, 6 goals, wasn't it, for Jan Bednarik? Tammy Abraham can go. We're going to have Jan up front.
Curtis Davis, was he alone?
Oh, good shot. He was, wasn't he?
He was, yeah.
The one that became permanent. To be fair, Davis and Mings, that's not a bad pairing.
Put him in, because otherwise this is in real danger of becoming championship heavy, isn't it?
He's been on the pod as well, obviously. So
friend of the show,
If you've listened to the podcast and missed it, we did Curtis Davis about 4 years ago or something. But if you want to go listen to that, please do.
Jan Bednarek plays for Porto now, and he starts for them. Yeah, again, it kind of shows how far Porto have fallen a little bit, but they have got better. But I'm just saying, for the Europa League, if we were to play them, Bednarek would probably be at the heart of their defence.
Left backs, again, not loads to choose from. I think a couple of names for you. Okay, then. Who is that?
Ryan Bertrand.
Yeah, one that I'd kind of forgotten about. So I've got Bertrand and Augustinsson.
Yeah,
I don't think there's any others.
Bertrand was a really strong player, especially his Pong.
Yeah, steady, yeah.
He rolled in the Champions League winner, didn't he?
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't a glorious time, but I'd have him in there.
Yeah, I definitely think he'd make the team.
Yeah, Bertrand's a decent shout, yeah. Okay, we'll have him there and fast forward on to midfield. More options here. Some decent, some pretty terrible. Go on, Matt, you ping us a midfielder if you've got any on a list or in your brain.
Well, the obvious one for me, and again, it breaks my own rules, but it's going to be James Milner, isn't it?
Yeah. Are you having him in the midfield, or are you having him as a right-sided player?
I'm having him in the midfield, because it was when he converted to centre midfield that he really started to shine under O'Neill. So I'd have him.
Would his loan? I don't quite remember his loan. Obviously, Did he join the summer or the window after his loan, or was it the year after?
Didn't we loan him twice? And then the second time make it permanent?
I might have had that he come on loan, then went back to Newcastle or somewhere else, and then joined Villa permanently. But I might be confusing myself.
The only thing I remember about that, and this is helpful to no one, just probably one of my earliest life memories. Actually, I was queuing up with my, back at school you have like the trays and then like the dinner lady. This was back in like, I don't know, primary school. And my head teacher was a Newcastle fan. It was all like a black and white tie. We all had black and white uniform as well. And I just remember him talking to me about James Milner and saying like, "Oh, you've stolen Milner from us and whatever." And I'm
like a 7-year-old kid.
Yeah, I don't know. Clearly, I was like a Villa fan and I like my football, but it was like not having a go at me. But I just remember kind of me being a bit scared because your head teacher and it's kind of telling you off almost that James Milner's left his club. But I'm also not sure if that was a loan originally or whatever. But that's one of my earliest memories.
No, that's a great little tidbit there.
Have I told you my Milner story on this podcast before? I think I probably have, but I'll tell it again. So years ago, so back in, probably talking 2009, 2010 or whatever, when we were working on the Sunday Mercury, we had to kind of get like a timeless feature. So we'd go and interview a player on a Thursday. We wouldn't ask him about the game because they'd be playing the game on the Saturday and it wouldn't appear till the Sunday. So we used to just like Google anything remotely interesting about players. And we found out he was like a massive fan of darts, James Milner. So we just did this story about how he loves darts and how he relaxes away from the pitch by playing with his dartboard and stuff. And it was like full of really bad dart puns. But I splashed it on the back page of the Mercury with, and bearing in mind, the Mercury's competing with all the other Sunday tabloids, News of the World, Sunday People, etc. Milner loves 3 in a bed in terms of like 3 darts in the treble 20. And I got summoned by the press officer's assistant to say, "Oh, James Milner's not very happy with you for that headline," and so I had to go and see him. And was
it your headline or was it someone else's?
No, it was somebody else's headline, which is quite good when you've got that kind of plausible deniability. So it's horrible sub editors. But it was all right, to be fair. But it was very much, the kind of boring Milner kind of Twitter account. That still exists, or
I think so. Yeah.
It was just it was a very strange thing to be told off about, because it was just a harmless piece saying how much he loves darts, but because he got this reputation to protect, he didn't want to be seen as this kind of footballer who was having these massive kind of threesomes then, but it'd be foursomes, wouldn't it? 3 in a bed with Milner. Anyway, just thought I'd share that with you. Crack on.
Thanks for that. Just to clarify, my hunch was correct. He joined on loan, then went back to Newcastle United for a full season and played. Was a starter for the entire season, says Wikipedia, and then joined the following summer for a fee of 12 million in 2008.
So why did they let him have? Why did they let us have him on loan?
Just game time, I guess, and then realised he was quite good, and then kept him, and then probably thought they could cash in under Mark Ashley.
Fair enough.
Maybe, I don't know. So sounds like a good enough theory to me. So let's move on, shall we? Other midfield options that we need to put in there. Then, if we're playing a 4-2 or a 4-3-3, we're going to need a midfielder or two. I've got Tom Cleverley as an option. I thought he was decent in his spell for us. Didn't pull up any trees, but a good enough player. You've got Coutinho, who was good on loan, and we all know what happened after. Not quite a midfielder, but could play as a 10 maybe in whatever system we're playing if we're really taking it that seriously. Ross Barkley on the loan in the 2020-21 season was decent enough for us before his injuries. And Jermaine Genius as obviously not an option for this, but as another midfielder. Not loads of options, so we probably are going to have to go with a 4-4-2, I think. And is it Cleverley and Milner?
I think it's got to be Barkley, hasn't he? Barkley was brilliant that season. I only watched it all on telly because it was all behind closed doors. Yeah. But I thought he was pretty good.
I mean, there's a chance we go Barkley, Cleverley, Milner, to be fair, as a 3.
I think the forward
Milner loves 3 in a bed, so I'll go for it.
Yeah, true. I think the forward options are better. So I've done like a 4-4-2 essentially. But
okay.
What's Danny Drinkwater going to say about this?
Well, yeah, I forgot about him. Yeah, he's got no chance of getting him, has he?
There are some more midfield options that I don't know if you want to touch on the poor elements of these loans or not yet, but there are some terrible loanees that we've had in midfield.
Bring them on. Who we got?
So Tom Carroll. For a start.
Wow, yeah, that doesn't really count.
It doesn't count. Danny Drinkwater definitely counts.
Yeah,
that was a shambles. The American we had, Bradley.
Yeah, Michael Bradley.
Bob Bradley's his dad. Do you have any stories of him, Matt? That was probably around the time that
Michael Bradley.
Yeah.
No, not really. That was under Julio as well, wasn't he?
Yeah.
I remember him played at Man City. We got knocked out of the cup at Man City playing a weakened team, and he was just awful that night and just really sulking. But I can't think of anything particularly amusing about it. Danny Drinkwater makes me laugh. Because you remember when you said Danny Jewelry Quarter?
Yeah, we spoke about that on the podcast not that long ago, actually.
Yeah. We did.
Take that back out and stick it back in. He definitely said Danny Jewelry Quarter.
I know, it is mad, really. Like, I absolutely denied it at the time, then watched it back in the edit and was like, what the f*** are you doing?
You're in complete denial.
Danny Jewelry Quarter is a bad footballer and a bad signing.
You call him Danny Jewelry Quarter then?
Definitely not.
Sound like calling him Danny Jewelry Quarter?
I don't think so. Anyway, I'll have to watch back in the edit if I did. That's very weird, but I don't think so.
Simon Dawkins as well.
Yeah, not a central midfielder though.
Is he not?
He's supposed to be a winger, wasn't he? I mean, we didn't see enough of him to know. I got him down as a winger. Nah, I think he was a winger.
Did Villa reference that the other night?
Yeah.
The lights are still on.
Decent from them. Okay, let's part the midfield for a sec. Let's go through these forward options, and then that will inform whether we go Barkley, Cleverley, Milner, or just Barkley, Milner. Because I don't mind Cleverley. I think it's a decent enough shout.
Yeah.
Wingers/forwards, obviously Asensio, Rashford from last season, Coutinho we touched on just before then, for his loan specifically. Anwar El Ghazi was initially a loan as well, which I think is a decent shout. Snodgrass, I think is definitely worth a worthy shout on the right-hand side. I know it was only one season, but had a chant as well, which is quite rare for a loanee, and everyone loved him, didn't they?
You're going to sing it down?
No, I'm all right.
What was it? Oh, his yeah. I think I was going to start singing it then. I thought better of it. I think it's probably my favourite loanee actually of all time at Villa. Yeah, genuinely, yeah. I think everyone just
Snodgrass epitomised what you want from a lone player, that he actually got the club, he understood it, he managed to develop a rapport with the fans. So I think he just seemed to be kind of a fairly likeable chap as well, didn't he? And he can't remember who did he score that banger against
Sheffield United.
Yeah,
nice. Last minute as well. So last minute
winner, 1-0. And he had a late goal at Middlesbrough as well. I think it was a header at the back post. Kind of similar sort of vibe. Yes, yeah. Run around the back of the goal. Yeah, I think it's some really nice memories, good character, great player as well for the Championship.
Yeah.
Right winger, cutting side on the left. Like, I think there's a lot to like there. It's a shame actually that he didn't overlap with McGinn because I feel like that would have been quite funny.
Ooh, that'd have been a great duel.
Yeah. But
did they?
No, McGinn joined in the summer that he went back to West Ham.
Did he? Wow. If you'd have said, did they play together? It was like a quiz question. I'd have said, yeah. Surely they must have played together.
Did McGinn join the year that we went up?
Yeah.
And Snodgrass was in the year that we lost.
Wow, that's mad. I'm sure they had a crossed over.
No, so we played a pre-season friendly game against West Ham at the Bescott. I don't know if you remember that, in that summer that Sawiris took over.
Pictures, look on our photo system, and these pictures of me hanging around like some kind of trampy loser, trying to dodge both of those as they came into the ground.
Yeah, that friendly happened, and Snodgrass scored against us, and then McGinn signed a few weeks later.
Okay. That's interesting. Any other shouts for forward options from either of you two?
Balassi doesn't make it for me, but again, good vibes.
Yeah.
A player when he signed, I think everyone was a bit excited, had some skills. And to be fair, did pretty well. But I think at that time, there was more. You had Grealish, you had Abraham. There was a bit more as well than just Balassi at the time. Snodgrass definitely makes it for me, though.
We're going to go with a front four or a front three.
I don't know. I like Abraham down the middle, Snodgrass on the right, and then someone for the left. But I don't know who that someone is.
I think if you have,
Rashford,
I can imagine if we're going to actually get this team out on the pitch. But if you have in your centre mid, Milner and who's the other? Not Cleverly. Who else did we say in there? Milner and Barkley in your centre mid. I personally would go with Snodgrass on the right, Rashford on the left. Is it recency bias? I don't know. I don't know whether I'd go Abraham and Keane or Abraham and Asensio, because Asensio's scoring record was phenomenal, really.
That's nice. I like that. Yeah, I think the option of having Keane / Graben and Abraham and two midfielders is worse than Tammy on his own.
Yeah.
But Asensio's behind him. I think that's better.
I can't stop that. Graben really shouldn't be in this conversation. I feel bad for bringing him up now.
I think it's a decent shout. I do, but there's better options.
Yeah. Can I just give a quick shout out to Scott Sinclair as well as a loan?
The Albion goal is what I remember mostly.
That's it, really. Yeah. But again, like good memories from that loan.
Hat-trick again. Notts County as well or something in the cup.
He did score a hat-trick, but I couldn't tell you who it was.
Yeah.
Was that the game Adama scored? And
he wore.
Yeah.
He wore number 9 though, as a winger, and that's not allowed. So he's immediately banned from the team.
Well,
does that mean is Harvey Elliott going to get
banned? Yeah, I'd send him back. Number 9. Nonsense. Send him back.
I did like Sinclair though, but yeah, again, probably like wrong time. We weren't very good back then, and all that sort of stuff.
Okay, I think there's a team there. So let's rattle through the 11 then, if I could got it from memory. Sam Johnston in goal, Kyle Walker right back, Curtis Davis and Tara Mings centre backs, Ryan Bertrand left back, 2 in the midfield, Barkley and James Milner, Robert Snodgrass on the right, Marcus Rashford off the left, and Marco Asensio in behind Tammy Abraham. That's a good 11, that is. We've done well there.
Fair play. On the bench. Okay. I'm
applauding.
That's like when you've got. Yeah, that's like when you've got Champions League on the Wednesday and Championship on the Saturday, isn't it? You know what I mean? You've covered up all options there.
Done well there, I think. John, do you want to rattle through, because this was your idea? You said you built almost 11 of the crap players. Do you want to just go through them?
I need a couple. Basically, I need 2 centre backs and a striker, because I've got Moreira, Alori.
Lewis Graben as your striker, mate.
yeah. Alori, Augustinson, Dawkins, Carroll, Bradley, Drinkwater, Holt. And then I need a striker and 2 centre backs. But
go across the team. So who's in goal?
Moreira.
Right, and then go across your back 4.
I'm playing a Laurie at right back.
Yeah.
And then I need 2 centre backs. Don't have them.
I'll put a Laurie in the middle and put Disassi at right back.
Oh yeah, I just feel a bit harsh. But to be fair, when he played
Disassi was alright, but at right back was terrible. Yes, I think that counts.
Yeah. We need a left-sided centre back, and then Augustinson left back.
Oh, Augustinson.
He's bad. And then we've got Dawkins, Tom Carroll. Bradley and Drinkwater, they can play in like a box or something. And then Holt, and then a striker. Another one. So.
I mean, yeah.
So you could play up front with Holt. You could have Gilles the Builder could play off him, potentially.
I don't even know who that is.
So who's that?
Bob the Builder?
Yeah, what?
No, he can't fix it. Even that was probably one of your 90s loans that...
Oh, okay.
He's clearly made an impact on your young, impressionable minds anyway, probably before you. What year were you born, Dan? 96?
95.
95. It's just...
That sounds so old now.
Gilles the Builder.
You probably were more Bob the Builder than Gilles the Builder when you were that age.
We'll have the Builder in there.
2001.
Oh, right, okay. Still before my time for watching the match, watching Villa, but...
Oh, Jan Bednarek. Yeah, we'll stick Bednarek in at centre-back. Yeah,
Bednarek at centre-back. Yeah, decent. Yeah, I mean, you can't quite build a full 11 with yours, John, but pretty much close enough.
That's an 11, all right. It's terrible.
Right, I think we've done enough there. Let's wrap up there, shall we? I enjoyed that. Very much let's just sit around and talk about old footballers, but worth it. It's a good exercise, isn't it? It's good fun. Matthew Kendrick, thank you very much for joining me. John Townley, likewise. Really enjoyed it as always. We'll reconvene again same time next week. Come back on the channel later in the week for some current football chat. Cheers, gents. Enjoyed it very much. We'll catch you later in the week. Bye-bye.